Well, I'm lucky today to have two experts in the mortgage and real estate environment with me today. I got Jason Walter, YouTube star here from Sacramento, California, and the one and only Dave Savage from The Mortgage Coach, founder and an amazing leader in all things related to mortgage and education in our industries. So thank you guys for both being here today. Appreciate you.
I'm excited to be here.
Awesome. So what's exciting about where we are today, we're talking early August 2024. Rates are starting to go in our favor, go down. We're seeing inventory get a little bit looser in the marketplaces, and it's starting to feel better. Like we have some light at the end of the tunnel here, which is exciting. And I wanted to bring on both Jason and Dave to share their story about how they are so authentic in what they do and the value that they provide, and how it relates to the mortgage and real estate professions that we all need to add more value, especially with the National Association of Realtors changes to a lot of the contracts that and the way we're going to do real estate going forward. So thank you guys for both being here again. And I'd like to start with Jason first, if that's good. Jason, can you share your backstory on your involvement in real estate and specifically around your YouTube channel and your 100,000 followers that you have?
Almost, we're like 200 away. Thank you, Jim, for having us on. Really appreciate the opportunity. So I started my YouTube channel back in October 2019. And back then it was basically doing neighborhood tours about my area, which is the greater Sacramento area. Also talking about pros and cons about living here in Sacramento, because people are making blog posts about, what it's like to live here when they visited here for the weekend. Whereas I've been living in Sacramento for like 40 plus years. So I just made videos, posting it twice a week for October until the pandemic hit. Then I was forced to stay at my house. I couldn't do neighborhood tours for about a month or so. And I saw all these videos about how the housing market was going to crash. Unemployment was at 14% or whatever it was. And it was all based on like what people thought, their speculation and their feelings regarding the housing market. So I kind of took a different approach, which is more like a data-driven approach, talking about, hey, what's the stats and the data telling us today? And how can we analyze that in order to determine what's really happening? And I made a video back in May of 2020, and I talked about how we had low inventory levels, and that was going to support home price growth. And that was much different than everyone else making videos about how the market was going to crash. And so ever since then, the channel has evolved into becoming more or less a housing news channel, if you want to kind of talk about that or say that, which is talking about trends we're seeing in California, Florida, Texas, but a lot about what we're seeing at the national level. And again, more of like a data-driven approach rather than the world is collapsing because I feel like it's doing, that's what's happening. And that has attracted a lot of business people who find my videos through YouTube, which is all 100% organic. I haven't paid for advertising since, I think it's 2019. So all organic. We've helped, I think, nearly 40 families buy and sell properties here in the greater Sacramento area, all through YouTube. And then we have other income sources. I have a video editing business, and we have YouTube ad revenue and affiliates, et cetera. So it's generated a great income for me and my family. And it is a lot of fun. It's a lot of work, but it's a ton of fun. And that's my story, basically.
So basically, you've taken an organic approach, providing data, providing authentic facts that basically allow people to make decisions for themselves, right? You're presenting information and letting people come to their own decisions on what they're going to do. Is that a simple way
absolutely. So the kind of the joke in the industry, right, is like if you ask a realtor when's a good time to buy or sell a house, it's like always now, right? Somehow it's always the best time to buy, but also it's the best time to sell. I was like, doesn't make any sense. So I thought, okay, well, I'm just going to make like videos about what's going on in the market so people can make their more informed decision about whether to buy or sell a house. And the people that reach out to me feel like they already know, like, and trust me. And I don't even know who they are. That's because they watched my videos, which Dave, you might see this as well. I know Jim as well, where in my opinion, the best way to build trust with people is through video, unless you're face to face. So people who reach out to me, watch my videos, I just act like myself, which is kind of like an analytical person. And so people who reach out already feel like they know me. So it's not like they're reaching out and saying, hey, you're one of like 10 agents I'm interviewing. It's more like, hey, can you take me on as a client because I watch your videos? It's just mind blowing. It's awesome.
It's huge. And I can attest even to today, we got 3 new clients just from a video we posted on Friday,
Yeah.
right? I mean, and just
One
being
video.
genuine and authentic. And I heard it myself on the phone. There was no need for me to prove who I was or give my backstory. They had already seen the videos, gone through the motions of learning about who we are, the know, like, trust, refer, and repeat, right? Dave's big on that also. And it just allows us to get to being able to help people a lot quicker, right? I don't have to spend the time, trying to explain what we're going to do. It's, we trust you. Please give us your best opinion and advice. And this kind of goes to Dave's points where we're consultative, we're advisors. And Dave is the best example of that over the last 25 years of someone who has been leading, bringing the heat of education, empowerment, and making sure that the consumer and realtors are all informed about the mortgage experience. And Dave, can you share a little bit about the mortgage coach? It's probably the best name of our industry to have. Can you explain your backstory and what you're all about?
Yeah. First of all, I love that story. Love hearing that you're using YouTube to, at the end of the day, create value for people. And I mean, my career in housing started, 38 years ago. So I've been doing this for a while. I was a mortgage professional, a loan officer who became pretty successful at it. And probably the best thing that ever happened to me is I came up with a unique value proposition that was my advice makes a difference. And when when I was in my 20s and I said that for the first time, it probably wasn't that true. But the heart was that true. Like, I really wanted my advice to make a difference. And that led to the creation of Mortgage Coach, where I still today feel that how people get into debt in America is broken. That, hey, here's your rate, here's your payment, here's your cash to close. I do not think that's enough information to make a great decision to achieve the real American dream. And the real American dream includes homeownership, but it's homeownership with financial freedom. And to make a decision around, should I get a loan with points, without points? Should I get a 15-year mortgage, 30-year mortgage? Should I buy now or should I wait? Should I move up or should I stay? Like, all these decisions that consumers made, like, I made the decision, my advice makes a difference. And then, like you, Jason, it was about the data. And I started like looking at the data beyond the transaction. Like, hey, what if you did this versus this over 5 years, and you took this loan and you prepaid your mortgage? What's your net worth in 5 years? Like, what if you rented versus owned? How much net worth would you lose based off of appreciation rates? So I mean, Mortgage Coach was founded on that premise of just helping people achieve financial freedom through real estate and build wealth through real estate. It's become a big thing. I would give a lot of credit to our YouTube channel. Coming out of the meltdown, I started, we attracted some of the most successful loan officers. And more important than success, they were like some of the most caring loan officers, like you, Jim, where they really wanted to help people become a little more financially literate, make a better mortgage decision that would lead to financial freedom. And so I started interviewing these folks. And, I don't call myself a YouTuber, but I've been leading a YouTube channel that loan officers have been learning from for over a decade. And we don't have 100,000 followers because it's not B2C, but we've got over 20, I think almost 25,000 mortgage professionals, all organic, that go to this YouTube channel to learn about advice with price. And so it's been a lot of fun. I am proud to say I started a nonprofit a couple years ago, or not a couple years, last year, called First Home IQ. And I've spent most of those 38 years trying to change how people get into debt from inside the industry out. And I felt like to really change how people get into debt in America, we need to get to kids. We need to get to high school, college age kids. So First Home IQ, we turn real estate and mortgage professionals into the first responders of the financial literacy crisis, and teach people how to be prepared for homeownership. Because I do believe the front line of the wealth gap in America is, it's who owns and who rents. And that I do believe that the people that really get to the dream of financial freedom, like anybody and everybody, regardless of your income level, can have financial freedom, but it's all about education and empowerment. So that's what I'm all about.
I love
Awesome.
it. And your passion, you both have a passion for this, right? You're not paid to have a YouTube channel necessarily. You're trying to give knowledge.
Hey,
Better.
I mean, I don't get paid. That's not how I make a living. But I do want to be clear. The YouTube channel has done very, very good for our for-profit.
Yeah, it's a compliment. But again, I love the fact that I will get on a plane after one of these events we go to, and I'll download 4 or 5 year shows and listen to some of my favorite peers in the industry talk about their approach, their mindset. You've had amazing realtors on your podcast, your YouTube channel. It's just great to hear from other people what they're doing. It gives confidence to those people that just probably think one way and are trying to be thinking differently. So I really commend you for all you've done. And, again, this industry, it's a marathon, not a sprint. We've all been in this industry for a while, and every day is a new day, right? I mean, you have a great program, Dave, total cost analysis that you have us do through your mortgage coach, which I'm a client of. All those things just prepare us to be able to be more consultative in our approach, give a lot more resources to a family to make a good decision, right? I think our job is to get someone to that call to action to make them make a decision that's best for them. And if it's buying a home or renting or doing nothing, it's still a decision. And that feels good at the end of the day that we're able to give them tools to make that decision for their objectives, not for our objectives, not for realtors' objectives, for their personal lifestyle. And that's what's exciting about this. So let's talk a little bit about value. We know that we're coming into some changes in the industry around perceived value of realtors specifically. So right now we know that there's some changes coming in the next couple of weeks, mid-August, where the buyer agent or the person showing someone a property to write an offer, their commission may be in jeopardy, or there's confusion around that. Dave, do you mind answering this question? What do you think is some of the value that a mortgage professional can bring to a realtor to make sure that we reinforce their value to the consumer?
So I think, especially with this NAR settlement coming, it's never been more important for mortgage partners to create more value between the homeowner and the real estate agent. And I think there's 3 things that I advocate. And, part of it's be really good at communicating this to the consumer in a way that is authentic. There is no script. You have to author the script and you have to have the heart. But, first and foremost, you as a mortgage professional, you need to get people excited about homeownership and homeownership to them. Like, everyone comes at it from a different place, and you need to help them be super excited about that homeownership. I think where a lot of mortgage professionals come short is they think that, their job is just to close a loan on time, and give them a competitive rate and smooth close. To me, that's table stakes. If you can be the mortgage professional that really helps people get super excited and understand how they can build wealth over time and how they can achieve net worth growth through that. First of all, most loan officers can't do that. That's highly valuable for real estate agents. And then you need to help them win in multiple offer situations. Even in the market today with the incredibly high interest rates, homes that are well priced, there's multiple offers on a lot of homes, and real estate agents, they want to have a buyer that's going to close on time, going to close smooth, but is highly motivated to make winning offers. And so I think the mortgage professional that can communicate that value and then deliver that to the consumer in a way where the consumer is like super clear, like, I get it, I believe this, and it's beyond the transaction. Like they're showing this decision, what it looks like 3 years from now, what it looks like 5 years from now, and really building a 30-year relationship with people.
I love it. I love it. And one thing that I think a lot of loan officers make a mistake on is they get the bare minimum information, the bare minimum documentation to do their job. I take the opposite approach. I say, I don't care if you need one tax return. I need two. Who's your CPA? Who's your financial planner? Who's your wealth advisor? All those things to make sure that we build a circle around that client to make sure they have the right resources for their long-term planning, right? Because we represent a team, and if we have a weak link on our team, we're only as good as that weak link. So I believe that it's not just about I can close in 11 days. It's more about like, hey, do you have a financial planner? You just had kids. Have you thought about a trust? Have you thought about things that are important, not for today, but for the future? Because if we do that, we're going to be helping that client out in so many different ways, building more rapport, a relationship versus a transaction, and just have it be so much more impactful in their lives than, the 11-day close. We lost Jason. I think he had an internet issue. He just texted me, unfortunately. So we'll keep going, and Jason may jump back on.
We'll keep it going, and
let's keep going. Yeah,
hopefully he makes it back.
Yeah, totally. So what I also love about your approach is you are looking at the analytics of everything. So when you present the total cost analysis, it's really been exciting to watch some of your best guys like Sean Herrero and other people like that, Wally and some others, really illustrate how proficient they are at explaining details. Like it's almost like a science to be able to go through those total cost analysis and be able to share the important keys in a timely manner, because people that understand how to do those, they can do them in 15, 20 minutes, but hopefully that resonates with that client for years, right? You hope that your effort you put in can make a big difference for people. What are you looking forward? What are you excited about going forward in the Mortgage Coach and Trust Engine environment? What are some of the things you're looking forward to for 2024 and beyond?
Yeah, well, I first of all, for the audience that is in mortgage and real estate, I believe that this is just an extraordinary time for mortgage professionals. For anyone that's watching this, whether you're an entrepreneur, I think it's an incredible time for housing. And of course, at some point there will be a down market. Like that's just, I'm not naive, although when you look at the data, it's hard to imagine like the amount of equity that we have in America, the quality of credit that people are in homes. Everybody's qualified to be in homes. They've made the income, they can debt service it, and if they do have to sell it, they can sell it strategically. We're so far from for sale. So it's just a great time for housing in America. Now, with that said, there is an affordability crisis in America, and we need to get scrappy. We need to get creative. We need to come together as a community. Parents do need to, if they have the means, to help their kids get into homeownership. That's a push to everyone on here. I think it's pretty status quo in America that, I need to plan for college. I need to plan for retirement. I think we are in an age, and I don't think it will change, where we need to plan for homeownership for everyone in our family. And if you are in a family that, either it's generational renter or you're renting, there's never been more down payment assistance program in history. There's a great platform out there. It's built into Zillow. It's built into all the different apps are using down payment resources. You can also go to downpaymentresources.com. I'm a big advocate of that because they've really democratized down payment assistance programs. It's not like you need to be a nerd. You can go to like those platforms, put in your area, look it up. So, between the education that's out there, between the platforms that are out there, at Trust Engine specifically, we are very obsessed with customer experience. Let's help people make an educated decision. Should you buy now? Should you rent? Should you pay points, not pay points? Should you move up or not move up? And always be looking at like a 3-year, 5-year, 20-year horizon. So we're very obsessed with continuing to evolve that customer experience that we deliver. And then we're even more obsessed with data, and not data to be creepy, data to, give consumers alerts on how they can save money, give consumers alerts on how you can build wealth with real estate and financial freedom faster. So we're using a lot of different data sources to be predictive. A term that we like to use a lot is called predictive advice. So I don't think technology and AI is going to replace loan officers or realtors, but I do believe that loan officers and realtors that use technology and AI will replace loan officers who don't, and realtors who don't. And so, but we're very focused on being predictive with data, and then delivering an advice experience to the consumer so they can achieve financial freedom faster.
Yeah, and I love that. I love what you're saying around just getting the education out there. I look at my goal in my company and my role. I have 7 fintech startups I'm part of, where I'm an advisor, an investor, and a user of these products. My whole goal with each one of those, first of all, they complement each other. But second of all, I'm trying to drive myself to the farthest front point of that relationship before any big decisions have to be made, so that I can then empower, educate, and give knowledge to those decisions as they come up in life. So I get excited about that because, when I bought my first house when I was 22 years old, I didn't have a lot of people telling me what to do or how to do it. I wish I would have had that advice. So I'm just trying to give back all the things I've learned in my career to those other people that are coming behind us to buy their first home or buy their forever home or their retirement home, right? That's kind of the goal, is to get as far in front of that decision as you can, because then it's less about shopping or price. It's more about education, empowerment, and giving an experience, like you mentioned earlier, which is huge. I also love your story you shared about the agent that you had that you were never going to use. Speaking of agents, Jason is back on. Welcome back, Jason.
All right.
Can you share your story, Dave, about the agent? You were so impressed with a couple. You were impressed by not the experience or resume this person had, but by the service they provided you, if I recall correctly. Is that right, Dave? In your last purchase of a home?
Oh yeah, I was like, you do listen to a lot of my content, so yeah, I wasn't completely clear on where that was going.
Sorry, yeah.
But the house that we bought, and it was actually, I was a Zillow lead. We were moving back to Orange County from Southern California, or from Oregon, and we didn't know if we were going to buy a place in Huntington, Newport, or Laguna. And I had been referred to some of the top agents in this market, and I was just like, I don't want to talk to anybody yet. And we were driving around, and I didn't think I was actually going to get the listing agent, but there was a house I wanted to see, and I didn't want to have to commit to anyone. And I called, and Brennan Rose is his name, and he was just great. And I was pretty clear, like, hey, I'm not using you. I'm not ready to commit. I have some questions about a very specific property. But at the end of the day, it was a servant's heart. And, he didn't try to, steer us into Newport, where we ended up buying our home. But, he went on probably, I don't know if it was a record breaking Zillow lead, but he sold us a pretty expensive home. And then I wanted to help my kids, which is something I believe all parents try to help your kids get into duplexes, triplexes, house hacking. I think that is a great way to start your career as a homeowner. And we helped our kids get a duplex and a triplex, and he got to be involved in that as well. So, but it was all about being someone of value. His advice made a difference. And it was just very clear.
That's huge. Again, he he followed up. I'm sure he was professional. I'm sure, and he probably wasn't expecting to meet you when the opportunity came up, but he was prepared, right?
Yeah,
he was ready.
Aggressively polite is what I like to call it. Like he was very aggressive, but he was very polite, and that's how you win.
And with everything online now, everything is real time. We got to be ready to go. I like to call myself the bat loan man. When that symbol goes up in the air, I'm ready. I'm available. I got to be there. I'm not going to send you spam and some pumpkin pie recipe 6 times a year. I'm not going to bug you about things that aren't important to you. But when you need me, we want to be like the Navy SEALs of lending. We're in, we're out. We did a good job. We did what you needed us to do, and life goes on. So that's an important part of it all. So let's switch back over to Jason now. He's got his internet back. Welcome back.
Sorry,
Jason.
it just went out.
No worries.
There's a story behind that later. Okay.
To kind of go off the authentic approach, right? Being genuine, adding value, and being relevant. Jason, your audience now, on average, you get probably something like how many people watch your videos every?
Oh, it depends. One video could get 5,000, or we can get like 30,000. It just depends on the video. But overall for the channel, approaching 28 million views. And the big thing here is 2.2 million watch hours. So that's the total number of people watching my videos. So it's a great way for people to get to know me, and then I'm providing value for people. And then if someone is looking to buy or sell a house in Sacramento or the greater area here, they often reach out, which is awesome.
Can you share one trait you love with professionals you work with, mortgage professionals or other realtors, something that stands out to you that's kind of like a non-negotiable, or something that is, different than most people? Can you share something that you appreciate or perspective you have when you're working with somebody?
Someone who was another professional in the industry as well?
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, I think it kind of goes back to integrity, really, for me, honestly. Just acting with integrity. The thing that someone taught me very early on when I got my license back in, I think it was 2012, I think it was 2013, 2012, I think it was that think of your client's pocketbook before you think of your pocketbook. So if you always are doing things that are best for the client, you're going to win. If you're always doing things that are going to be benefiting you the most, that is not a good long-term strategy, and it's highly unethical as well. So there's a wide range of people in the industry. It's very easy to get your real estate salesperson license, especially. I have my CPA license, which is inactive for quite some time, but that was very challenging to get a license for a CPA versus like a real estate salesperson, very easy. So therefore, there's a wide range of people you work with. Fantastic agents out there, but also there's some agents out there that are doing a little bit disservice to their clients, as I say that.
And video and ways to stay in front of people is going to be a way to be different, right? You're going to keep doing videos. You're going to keep adding more value and insights, which is huge.
Yeah, that's absolutely. Cool. I think that's really key for agents and loan officers who, if they have a YouTube channel or they're thinking about starting one, before, especially agents, when you're asking clients that you barely know, before you start looking at houses to sign a buyer broker agreement, people who don't know you, like if you're like an online lead, for example, they're going to be really hesitant to sign that document. Versus if you have a YouTube channel, for example, you're providing value for people. People watch you. They feel like they know, like, and trust you even before they reach out. Getting clients to sign that document is going to be an easy process. And so it's all about building trust with people. And that's going to be much more easy to do that through video content, in my opinion.
Cool. Awesome. Dave, I would love to have you take us home because you're the best at this. Could you give some perspective? So Jason and I are a realtor and loan officer coming together. We happen to have known each other for a small period of time, only since 8th grade. So like yesterday, basically.
We're not 20 years old.
What advice could you give your audience and the real estate environment audience ways to find like partnerships, collaborations, like our title on our screen. What are some things that you give advice to people like Jason and I that are searching for the next value-added approach to making a difference?
Wow, that's a packed question. So I turned 60 this year. And,
no way. I thought you were 45.
No, I in June. So and it's thanks. And it was like literally the best birthday ever. Like it's a big number, but I've never felt better. I've never felt more loving of what I do. I've never felt like no interest in ever retiring. Never felt like I am creating more impact. It was an age where I was really proud of, and I had a lot of birthdays where I was, either not satisfied with what I've accomplished. I didn't, have all this. And so I did a lot of reflecting on that. And then also I had my youngest son graduated from college. And so I also did a lot of reflecting of like, what advice would I give to him? And so I'm going to pull from all that because I've been doing a lot of thinking on this. And you use the word authenticity a lot. And so I think, and then Jason, hearing how you created your YouTube channel and how successful it's become, I'm pretty sure, I haven't spent enough time to know, but you really like what you're doing. Like it is, it is your authentic self, and you found a way to solve a problem in your local market, which is a problem in the national market. And that's how you've probably gone from, thousands of people to now tens of thousands and trending towards hundreds of thousands, because you're being your authentic self. You are doing what you love to do. And so, my advice, to everyone, that if you want to get to a point in your career where you never want to retire, that only happens if you are being your authentic self at what you do. You're doing it the way you want to do it. You're doing it with who you want to do it. I always tell loan officers that are out there and they're just willing to do business with everyone. Like, early in my career, I used to teach this lead scoring method of, hey, you really want to be intentional to work with people that are well qualified. Or wait, let me put it this way. You want to start your morning calling your hottest leads who are also cool people, not your hottest leads that are energy vampires. And so, loan officers don't work with realtors that aren't cool and don't vibe with you. Find people where if you guys have known each other since 8th grade, you obviously like each other. I mean, what a dream to have a successful business doing what you want. But it all comes down to doing what you love, being authentic to yourself, and then surrounding yourself with people that you don't have to love them. They don't have to be your best friend, but they don't suck your energy, because life is too short and you'll never achieve true passion and love of what you do if you have people around you that aren't, celebrating you.
I love it. And thank you guys both for being part of that network for me. I get inspiration from both you guys. Some days are tougher than others, and it's great to know that you have other people in the trenches with you that have similar passions and values. And that makes it fun to be able to have cooperation also, right? People that you're competing with, but you have respect for. So it's really cool to see someone that shares similar values getting successful and making things happen. So I appreciate both you guys for being on this show today. And I will definitely put both your guys' contact information. How can we reach you, Dave? And how can we reach you, Jason, on what's your favorite way of being reached?
You go first, Jason.
I actually like a messenger via Bird. That's the best way to reach out to me.
Via Bird? What is Bird? What is that?
No, a carrier pigeon would be best for me.
Okay, got it. Okay,
yeah. If you just Google Jason Walter real estate housing market, you'll find me. Best way is through my YouTube channel. You'll see my videos, and I have all my contact information in my video descriptions. So that's the best way to reach out to me.
Cool. Yeah. And so I'm pretty intentional with YouTube. So, follow the Mortgage Coach YouTube channel. I try to post almost daily, weekdays on LinkedIn. You know, it's a place where I bring intentional leadership. I would say message me on LinkedIn, but it's become such like the king
Spam, a lot of spam and a lot of,
folders. Like it's a spam box.
Yep.
You can message me there, and I think I get to most of them, or with the help of my team. But I'd say it's best to just email me at dave@trustengine.com. And then I have a web page, Savage Insights. Check it out. Go to savageinsights.com, and whatever I think, the best interview I recently did or what's coming next is at savageinsights.com.
Cool. Well, awesome. I appreciate both you guys. Dave, I'm sure I'll see you at one of these events coming up the rest of the year. Jason, I'll see you soon, probably back home or at my house. And thank you both for being on today. It means a lot. I appreciate you guys. Keep leading the way. And thank you again. So.
All right. Take care, guys. Appreciate this opportunity.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, guys. See you.
See you.
Thanks again. Perfect.